Hi, I'm Ruth. I am a second year BA English student at City University, and I'm going to tell you a bit about my experience. So for me, one of the reasons that I ended up choosing City to study English at was the variety of content and the variety of modules on offer. Of course, you have the standard English literature that you would expect on a BA English course, classics, but we also studied graphic novels, and we also did a module called Performance Studies, which was very interesting. We basically had to write our own script and perform it, and that was a really interesting module just because it went through the entire history of performance, not just as plays, but political performance, political protest. And it was a great way to collaborate with my course mates and really get to know them in a really fun way. Another thing that I like about our course is the fact that we don't only consider a Western perspective, but we also looked at history around the world and novels that reflected that. So we looked at a novel called Homegoing, which was basically about the last 300 years in African and African American history. That was told in a very interesting way. Every chapter is a new character. So I really enjoyed reading that novel and learning about the history. And also we looked at a novel called Persepolis, which is it was a graphic novel about a girl, an Iranian girl growing up during the revolution and becoming a punk. It's really interesting, and it was something that I probably wouldn't have thought about if I hadn't learnt it. Something that I think is really cool is that you can choose modules from journalism and music as well. I've enrolled in visual journalism and I'm really excited for it. Really important thing for me was the employability factor. All of the modules teach you transferable skills like communication and research, for example, but you can also do a work placement module, and we also have you can also do a year in industry if that's what you'd like. We also have a global language teaching module and a web development module, both of which I'm very excited to enrol on. You can also get part-time work on campus. I work as a student ambassador, and you get to meet prospective students, but also students from other courses. I'm also an editor for The Bard, which is our literary magazine. We accept creative submissions from poetry to artwork, and it's been a great experience so far. City's also really eco-friendly. We have beehives, which I don't think a lot of other universities have, and a veggie garden, very important. There's also lots of support if you want to come by bike. The student services are excellent. If you want to have your CV checked before you apply for a job, they can do that for you for free, and I've done it a fair few times. It's extremely supportive of any restrictions or limitations you might have. I was actually diagnosed with dyspraxia through the university, and they've made accommodations for me. Also, one of my lecturers arranged a pizza party for all of us after our lesson, so we would go down to our common room and have pizza with everyone, including some of the lecturers, and it was a really great way to get to know everyone and also have pizza. All in all, City's a great place to study. It's in a great location. If you want to go for a coffee between your lessons, you only have to nip around the corner. So I hope that my insight into being an English student at City has been useful